14-10. Eric Friedcheck Ford back with you, joined by the Director of Athletics here at Dartmouth, Mike Harity. And we just wanted to talk to you for a few minutes. We pay tribute to Buddy Tevens at the very top of this telecast. And we just wanted to have a chat with you because I know you're very proud with how this entire community, the team, but also the entire Dartmouth family has handled what's been a very difficult and challenging year.
Absolutely. You know, there's nothing that can prepare you for something like this. Buddy has just had an impact on so many people, and he was actually on my search committee when I went through the process in the summer of 22. And you know, typical Buddy, you know, there was the process that he was supposed to follow, and then he was kind of going off script a little bit and sending me some texts and said, you know, like, you're my guy, I hope that you can get here. And so I know that in part my family and I are here because of his just sheer will, which, you know, he's demonstrated throughout his life. And he's left a big hole. I miss him every day. And it's almost not real that he's not here, but his spirit, we feel it every day.
You know what, for those of us that knew him and felt him in his friendship, we all have stories to tell, Buddy stories. I'm curious for you. You came here a couple of years ago from West Point. Buddy was an established star. He was an icon here. He became that in that echelon of the one-name people. You know, we see them in sports and entertainment. And if you're around here and you say, Buddy, everybody knew who you were talking about. You're the new guy. There are some places where the new athletic director coming in for the iconic head coach, it might be a problem. You know, the head coach basically saying, yeah, you might think you're the boss, but you're not. Talk a little bit about how Buddy welcomed you and how you saw him working.
Sure. Part of that was him going off script during the search process and let me know how strongly he felt about me. And my first mentor in college athletics was Ted Leland, who sat in the office that I sit in now as the Dartmouth Athletics Director, of course, went on to become the Stanford Athletics Director. And early in the process after arriving, Ted connected both of us. Ted also hired him out at Stanford. They're incredible friends still, you know, to the end. And so I really had a great understanding and appreciation for who he was as a person. He wanted nothing more than to elevate his alma mater's athletics department and was a tremendous partner in that, and also said, hold me accountable. Last year, he was not happy with how the 3-7 season went. We sat down. I'll say this now, I'll never forget the story that we had where we're talking about recruiting. And I said, you know, Buddy, why don't you ever take a place kicker? And he said, oh, we usually just kind of figure that out. And if you paid attention last year, it was really, you know, Ryan did a great job, but it was a bit of an adventure. He took 2 this year, and one of them is Owen, who's won multiple times the Ivy League, you know, Freshman of the Year. Or
it's interesting. He was an icon, but he was smart enough to know when he needed to.
Exactly.
Hey, a question. You and I talked about this earlier today, but I think a lot of people would have this question. Was there any thought of not playing the game that came up after, right on the heels of Buddy's passing?
Great question. So I contemplated that, and when we talked to the team, there wasn't, you know, but 0.2 seconds of thought and said, we're playing because Buddy would want us to play.
And you've got to be impressed with how they've played. I know they're trailing here today, but the word we used at the very top of our telecast was resilient.
Yeah.
And they've been a very resilient group this year, it seems.
You know, Buddy talked a lot about A&I, adjust and improvise, and he really trained them to be ready for something like this. There's nothing really that can prepare you for a tragedy like this from the time that it was accident in March. We have an acting head coach at the time, Sammy McCorkle. We make him interim head coach, and of course now he's our permanent head coach. But this team has so much love. The culture, the cohesiveness is something like I haven't seen before.
We had a little timeline, just a little Buddy resume. In there ran the Boston Marathon, and from what I've been told, he did it without training. But there's a reason why I didn't say he ran it twice, because he learned the hard way. Don't do that without training.
I got let's quick talk. I know we have to go, but I got a text, got to tell you, from Murray Bowden. Murray Bowden, the College Football Hall of Fame, Dartmouth guy, and his text with me was, you know, here's what you need to know about Buddy. He passed the great test in life, which was he gave much more than he received.
Yes, and an educator at heart. You know, his classroom just happened to be the football field.
Yeah.
Mike, we appreciate the time, and I know it's been challenging for everybody up here, but you've handled it with grace and you've handled it with a lot of dignity and very well. So thanks so much for joining us here today. We continue to pay tribute to a guy who was one of a kind here at Dartmouth College. That was Buddy Tevens, Ivy League champion as a quarterback, hockey player as well. We don't forget that around here, and also all-time winningest coach in Dartmouth football history.
Our hockey team beat Quinnipiac tonight, by the way.
There you go.
Defending national champions.
With Buddy watching, no question. Thank you, Mike.
Thank you.